welcome to the Meditation Online in New York. We will leave a few minutes for people to join in. Meanwhile, it's a good chance to get yourself comfortable. You can sit on a chair or on the floor, whatever works for you. You can take a few nice deep breaths. And just let the distractions of the day drift out of your attention. So while we wait for the others to join, we can just close our eyes for a few minutes and let our attention settle at the crown of the head. Some thoughts might come and go, but we'll just let them go by and gently put our attention back if it slips. That's our dog having a good long drink in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but he seems to be very thirsty. So last week we had a nice meditation where we put our right hand on the various energy centers in order to facilitate a gentle awakening of a spiritual energy which is inside all of us in the sacrum bone. And there's a very simple but profound way of awakening this energy and putting us into a state of what can be called mental silence or thoughtless awareness, getting us in touch with our deeper selves. And this evening we're going to start with an excerpt from a talk by Srimataji Nirmala Devi, whose photo you see on this video. She gave thousands of lectures, and but she never gave a lecture without also offering this experience of awakening this inner energy, which can also be called as self-realization. And it was always offered for free with great compassion and love. Shri Mataji herself was born with this energy fully awakened, and which is a challenge to some people, but they would say, why is it you who has this? And she'd say, well, great, if you had it, so much the better. It's not the fact that it's her, it's just she happened to have this amazing power, and she was very happy to share it with everyone and help everyone get the status of being their own guru. So those of us who've had the great pleasure to practice this meditation for some time, we're very happy on any occasion to share it with those who are interested. Because the more people who do it, the stronger the experience is. It's a collective energy, and the spirit inside of us is a collective being. So you're most welcome, coming from whatever background or age or interest. It doesn't matter, because we all have this inside of us. It's what connects us to each other. So next to the photo, you will see also what can be called a chakra chart, or a sort of cartoony image of our subtle body. And Shri Mataji will make a few references to this chart. I believe she'll talk about the 3 channels, which are here, the blue being the left channel, the yellow being the right, and the sort of dotted line here, and white is the central channel. And there's also this image you see, I hope you can see it. Let's see if we can, there we go. There's a coiled up image inside of this triangular, well, inside the triangle. The triangle represents our sacrum bone, and the 3.5 coils inside represent this very energy that we were speaking about, which is called Kundalini in Sanskrit, which simply means a feminine coiled energy. Coiled gives you the, well, it means that it's potential. It's coiled up, so it's ready to awaken, but it hasn't awakened yet in most cases. So what I'll do is put on this excerpt of the talk, and meanwhile, while listening, you're welcome to close your eyes or keep them open. Usually closing works better for keeping our attention inside. But it's great if you can keep your hands open on your lap. This way you can notice any sensations which might happen on your fingertips or on the palms of your hands, because this is a living energy and it does activate in our system. And we'll be talking a little bit more about that later. So if you'll just be patient for a minute, and I'll try to get this excerpt rolling.
We are born as seekers. We might have made mistakes in seeking, but we are definitely seekers. If you were not seekers, you would have been very happy attending some dinner or a ball somewhere. But no, there is something beyond, something beautiful beyond, which is being promised, which you feel there is, you are aware of it. The existence of that beauty, you are aware of it. But so far you have not reached to the source, and that's why you are seeking. Now these 3 powers are within us, also active, and they I have shown here. If you see, on the left-hand side is this blue line that is going down, is the power of our desiring, by which we desire, by which we express our emotions. And when this desire is no more left in us, in the sense that this power, when it disappears within us, then we also disappear. And They have not shown the spirit, but if you see these yellow lines, you can say that that is the spirit they have tried to show. This spirit is the reflection of Father God or the witness God who is within us in our heart. While these three powers have created like a curtain between our attention and between Him. Now the attention exists in this green colored void. It's sustained by our liver. And that's how these three curtains keep us away from that spirit. We cannot see that spirit, we cannot feel it, we cannot manifest it, but we know there is someone who knows us. In Gita it is called as Kshetragya, the one who is the knower of the field. So we know there is a knower, and the knower knows all about you and is tape recording all that you have been doing. Your seeking, your mistakes, your turbulence, all kinds of things you have gone through, all is recorded in that tape. And that tape is placed down below there in the triangular bone, which is called as the Kundalini. This is the residual energy of our desire. Means when the whole universe was created, this energy of desire, Adi Shakti, after creating the whole, she remains the whole because she is complete. You can say it's very easy to understand. Supposing there is a light here and I put a film here. The whole film is reflected, but the film is intact. In the same way, after projecting itself, whatever remains is the residual energy, is this Kundalini. Means you are the complete projection of that Kundalini, that power, which is desire power, which manifests later on into these two powers. The right side power, the one you see with the yellow color, is called the power of action, and the central power, which you have achieved up to a point, and the rest is a void, you can see the dotted lines are, is the power which is responsible for your evolution from amoeba to this stage. We should ask the question, why did we become human beings from amoeba to this stage? Supposing I have some bolts, nuts, this, that, and I gather them together, then anybody would ask, why are you making this? So I can tell I'm making a microphone. But this microphone also has got a thread here. It is to be put to the mains. Unless and until it is put to the mains, this is not going to work out. And this is what we have got, these three powers. And the residual power there, which is the desire power, which is there just sitting down there, which is going to desire your rebirth. It's your own mother. And when she desires it, she comes into action only when she sees somebody who is an authority, who has a power to raise her, who loves the same way as she loves you, then only she rises. Not by any tricks, by standing on your head, or having an exercise, or beating people, or all sorts of things they have devised now. It is a spontaneous thing. Sahaja. Spontaneously rises. I mean, supposing now, somebody comes to me, can you guarantee that my Kundalini will be awakened or not? I said, no, sir, I'm sorry. Maybe it may not be. If you do not argue too much, then it will.
So we can just sit for a few moments, keeping our attention at the crown of the head. And this energy of desire, which Shramataji spoke about, this Kundalini, can be awakened with our sincerity. And even if it has already been awakened, like a rope with thousands of strands, there's so much more that can come up. So we'll just do a short exercise to help experience this awakening, or experience it in a stronger way if you've already experienced it. And we'll just make sure our feet, if you're sitting on a chair, you can keep your feet a little bit away from each other. If you're sitting on the floor, that's great also. Being comfortable is the most important thing. And we'll keep our left hand with the palm facing upward on our lap. And with the right hand, we're just going to place it on a few of the energy centers or chakras. And we will start with our right hand on the heart on the left side. And we'll place our hand there, and silently we can say the affirmation addressing this motherly energy known as Kundalini. Mother, I am the Spirit. We can say this several times silently. Mother, I am the Spirit. Now we can move the right hand up to where the neck and shoulder join on the left side. This is our fifth energy center or chakra, and we can turn our head towards the right a little bit, which just helps to open up this area. And here we're, again, it's another way of affirming that we're the Spirit and we're not our thoughts or our ego or our conditionings. We're going to say, Mother, I am not guilty. We're just going to let go of this guilt, which is a really kind of way of escaping. Instead of facing things, we just feel guilty, and then there's no movement, there's no evolution. This energy is really the engine of our evolution, and we're inviting it to rise. So we'll just try to take a few obstacles away so that it can rise for our benevolence. So we'll just say, without too much thinking about it, Mother, I'm not guilty. And say that several times. Now let's move our right hand up to the forehead. We can bend our head forward a little bit so that our forehead is resting in the palm of our hand. And we'll say, I forgive myself and I forgive everyone. Forgiveness is essential. The state of forgiveness is essential, whether we think we're doing something or not. We're actually not doing anything by forgiving or not forgiving. It's just kind of a mental game. So we're going to go beyond that and say, I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. We can now place our right hand at the back of the head. And for our own satisfaction, we ask, if I have made any mistakes knowingly or unknowingly against my spirit, please forgive me. Now we can stretch the palm of our right hand and place the center of the palm on the crown of the head, which is also called the fontanelle bone area, which is that soft spot which you can see on a baby, which pulsates. So we can make a nice firm contact with the scalp, and we'll be massaging the scalp 7 times in a clockwise direction. And as we massage, we can ask either, Mother, please, may I have my self-realization, or Mother, please establish my self-realization, or Mother, please may I experience true meditation. We can ask either of those, any of those, while we massage our scalp 7 times. Now we can raise our right hand 2 or 3 inches above the top of the head and just see if we notice anything like a warm or cool breeze. It's quite gentle on the palm of our hand. We can put our right hand back in our lap with the palm facing upward, and let's just try with the left hand in the same way, 2 or 3 inches above, or sometimes it's even higher, above the crown of the head. Just place our palm, move it a little bit to try to feel what's happening up there. Sometimes we're more sensitive on one hand than the other, but if you don't feel anything, that's okay too. Most important is how we feel inside. Is our mind relaxed? Do we feel better than when we started? So now we'll keep both hands on our lap with the palms facing upward, and we'll just sit for a final few minutes. And we can keep our attention where we had our hand above the top of the head. let's take a few deep breaths where we inhale and hold it for some time, and then exhale and hold it out for some time. We can do that at our own rhythm. Now, if this was your first time, do have a look after the meditation on the Meditation Online New York page. There is a rubric of files. You just click underneath it, and there are a few helpful documents. One is how to meditate at home. The other is a picture of the chakra chart, which we showed also this evening. So there's just some helpful tips there, and hope you can try it at home, because it does make a difference doing it more than once a week. You can listen to this broadcast or the other broadcasts, which are all posted on the page, as well as YouTube, I believe. So you can listen to them anytime that suits you. And we thank you so much for joining this evening. Wish you a great evening.